Greetings, folks, and welcome to the channel. I am your host, Coco Smooth, and today I will be showing or showcasing a bunch of Gridiron Studios pickups I've had on the eBays. I didn't know that they had their actual store. I just saw them in eBay when I did a search and kind of, you know, got buck wild and ended up picking up a bunch of their stuff. One of the things that I wanted to immediately from what I saw was a couple of things. First, I really needed Gung Ho from the Classified series to have a regular weapon and not a weapon that looked like it came from fighting aliens, you know, in the future and junk. So yeah, I made him get the saw, the M249. It's kind of big, but it makes sense to somebody who's this guy's size. So yeah, it's a little of the noxious size big, but I'm glad that Gung Ho is just a big enough kind of guy to well, it doesn't look so crazy big on him, but it's still actually kind of big, in general. It looks more like a 240 Bravo size than it does a saw on Gung Ho when he's already a big enough fig as it is, right? But yeah, it's kind of cool because this thing when I first got it, uh, this was separate from the weapon, right? This thing looks great, and so I'm gonna put it together. And yeah, now look, it looks so cool. Now, of course, the only thing that I find really annoying about all of this is that I wish I had the hands, alternate hands, so that he can actually grip it, or at least make it look like he's, supporting it. But yeah, his hands, I don't want to wreck his hands just so that it, for looks. I want alternate hands that will actually, look good with this so that he can hold it. But I don't know if there's such a thing yet. I definitely love to know where everybody else gets, well, especially Gridiron Studios gets those hands to get it to grip on their photos, for support. But yeah, pretty excited about it. Now, just to get them a weapons pack from Gridiron Studios that make them look like a regular Joe instead of some future Starship Trooper fighter. Next up, the main guy that I got excited about was pretty much Breaker, because Breaker, when you first get him with the motorcycle, is pretty boring as a fig. He didn't come with no weapons or a his comms, but I definitely picked up his comm set from Gridiron Studios on eBay, and I was a little worried at first because I was like, man, I seen people put tape on this, uh, and I was like, why did they do that? They did not have a peg, and I saw some videos that didn't look like he had a peg. But here's the good news: it looks like they have made improvements and they put in a peg on the rucksack, and so it's got you can put the phone, the walkie-talkie. The phone is in the bottom right here. Yeah, he can talk on it and everything, but yeah, I don't think he really. Yeah, it's movable, but yeah, you can take it out. But I spent a lot of time trying to get it stuck here because I don't want it floundering around. And here's the rest of the radio, right? And it comes with a K bar, pretty cool, kind of big for this guy. It looks more like a short sword, or a dagger of some kind, right? But yeah, let me put it back on. And so yeah, he looks more complete, and it came with a really mini um, M4 with a long magazine. Kind of weird. Excuse me. But yeah, now Breaker looks like he can actually belong. Like he's closer to his old self with this old gear that nobody, antiquated gear that nobody uses no more. But yeah, he's yeah, which is weird why he's got this and he's got this going on. So either way, to me, it still looks really good, right? I for me, it does. I like it's a good look. He looks like a proper soldier, like he's actually battlefield ready. And yeah, of course, he's gonna pack a smaller weapon because his main focus literally is just to do communication. So yeah, yeah. Next thing is I saw that was impressive in the store that I really wanted was these helmets because I didn't want the Duke and Flint and any other Joes really that just walk around with berets or no headgear at all, you know. And uh, so I picked up a couple just in case I get other Joes that's going to be helmetless. Flint's not most likely not going to be using this because I got another Gridiron Studios gear specifically made for Flint, and yeah, his Kevlar is going to look so different from this one. So I'm leaving, it was just for show, but yeah, the one thing I got for Flint really that was really cool was his shotgun. I think they call it the projector or something. I forget. But yeah, this was a this is a shotgun that's more fitting with some black and looks like a real shotgun instead of that futuristic whatever the heck that Flint was rocking. But this thing does look kind of big on him. Um, uh, one of my I saw this one channel where he stopped buying gridiron stuff because he thought that this was more meant for 7 inches than it is 1/12 scale, figures. And I can kind of see what he's talking about, but I don't think it's that egregious that yet. I don't think it's the size is super egregious, but we'll see with all the other subsequent weapons that I did pick up. Yeah, speaking of Kev, yeah, and so Duke is rocking that same Kevlar because he's the main guy I got it for really. Um, and I got him rocking an M4 too, so he looks like a proper soldier, closer to being a proper soldier, really. You know, uh, yeah, the communications thing is what makes this kind of cool. But that's not what I ordered. I ordered the one without communication. I didn't even know that this was an option on eBay, but that's what I got. I messaged them because I kind of want the classic one still, but I ain't too mad that this came, instead too, because I guess it allows them to be more modern. But that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for just a plain helmet, one closer to what he had when he was OG, the OG Duke. Uh, more plain, more plain. But either way. And then I also got this for our boy Stalker because as much as I love Stalker's classic look, also, as a soldier myself, a former soldier myself, it just doesn't make sense for him to walk around with a beret in combat when he should be rocking Kevlar too, And I'm glad that the paint job matches his, colors and everything. And this helmet really is made for him because it's big. His head is huge. So this is definitely a Stalker specific helmet. I should pick up more Stalkers because man, they're going for cheap, and his body make for great, troop building. All I need are more heads from other things, So yeah, that's the one of the other things I got from, and of course I bought the last but not least, I bought M4 rack with 5 M4s to go with it. I mean, it came as a set. And I have Duke rocking one of the M4s and Grunt rocking one of the M4s because, yeah, it's his old school Vietnam era M16, while cool and closer to the vintage toy. Um, yeah, I wanted him to look a little bit more modern, more moderned out, Um, yeah. So it is, while this has a more of a iconic classic 80s look, it's not that far off, and it looks more efficient, really, what soldiers would really, I imagine, prefer handling. And Grunt being the ultimate 11 Bravo Grunt, I wanted to reward him by making things more convenient for him, rocking you know the M4. So I definitely, every time I see this rack, it makes me think of the days in my when I was in the army and I was a company commander, having to inventory weapons all the time, making sure the serial numbers are all there and matches up with your MTO. Kind of cool. Yeah. Anyways, folks, yeah, that is all I got. Actually, let me bring it down a little bit for you guys so you can see the there you go, weapons rack. Yeah. That's what it came with. I just wish it came with the other stuff to keep the weapons, uh, still. Yeah, but yeah, overall, this, actually, let's see. The slots are meant for the butt stocks. Obviously, I organized it there earlier, but yeah, this is very sensitive, and if you don't think, these things can dislodge real easy. So you just kind of see what I mean. Just a little bit of thing can change all that. A little bit on the frustrating side, but again, in a real weapons rack, you would need to have the thing in the middle and the top to make sure that it don't, move and stuff. So yeah. All right, folks, that's all I got for this segment of the 12-inch, no, 112 scale military action figure accessories uh, edition from Gridiron Studios. I am your host, Coco Smooth, and I promise you guys, there will be more Gridiron Studio videos coming shortly, as soon as they mail it. And I'm going to do videos for you guys so you guys see it, right? I am your host, Coco Smooth, and until the next video, folks, ciao.